I was just filming a class and coming up against all kinds of resistance. Recorded half the class, but actually didn't press record, had to do it again. Um, all kinds of resistance. And part of where my resistance has been really getting me is with this idea that if I'm not perfect, or if I'm not doing it right, who am I? Who am I to be teaching, to be sharing, to be leading? This is where the perfection syndrome really gets me. I've had some really big growth moments in my life lately, some really big obstacles that I have had to rise to in a way that I never have before, and it's brought up all kinds of insecurities as these old ego identities have had to sort of die, have had to crumble. This idea of myself as, always doing the right thing, or taking the high road, or being above certain behaviors. I've had to engage in certain behaviors that I would have judged in the past. I haven't had to, I've chosen to, because of circumstances. And to sit and own the parts of myself that are, don't want that. To own the parts of myself that don't fit into my egoic perception. I've done a lot of that kind of work, but lately it's been very, very heightened. And I'm grateful for it because it's forced me to learn. It's forced me to push past, again, ego identities that always, become limiting. They do serve us. They give us, they are there for a reason. They give us protection in our physical bodies and allow us to survive in our day-to-day lives. But at some point, any identity that we assign to ourselves becomes limiting because we are these limitless beings. We are expansions of light. We are divine beings that are ever expanding and ever exploring who we are and who we may become. So of course, as something keeps going like this, any label you try to put on it, we outgrow it, right? Every time. But it's painful to outgrow. It's painful and it's scary because we get comfortable. I get comfortable with being perceived a certain way. I get comfortable with perceiving myself a certain way. And then suddenly when that label no longer fits because of a choice I made consciously, not because I'm a victim or a martyr, because I chose that. Whew! It shakes everything. And then this new identity that hasn't fully formed yet, that's like, well, no, I am someone who stands up for myself. I am someone who might hurt someone, not intentionally, or intentionally when they've hurt me. Actually, I am someone who won't be quiet when it would be more convenient for those around me, right? All that good girl ego, all that identity as the good girl is like, fuck, this doesn't work. What are you doing, right? And as that's dying and falling away, which I needed to, I wanted to, it's time. I'm grateful to it. It served me well. As I move into the next part of myself, all of this fear comes up, right? All of this fear, all of these ideas that my life is in danger. This fear that because I don't have a new identity formed, I don't know who this is that I'm stepping into. It's something beyond what I have known in the past, right? And so all of these voices are trying to get me to run back to the good girl, right? Oh my gosh, you've got to apologize. You've got to fix it. You've got to, and you don't deserve anything good unless you're perceived as a good girl, or unless you run back to this idea of yourself, right? So here I am trying to come out and to share my gifts and to bring my classes and to do make these big choices and make these big moves. And these voices are like, you don't deserve it. No. You're not a good girl anymore. Good girls deserve things. Bad girls don't. Girls that use their voice don't. Girls that won't be fucked with, those are bad girls. And it's almost embarrassing that that's coming forward, because I feel like I want to feel like I'm past that, but I'm obviously not. And I share this with you just because this is the process we go through as we grow. This is the process we go through, and it's painful and it's uncomfortable and it's, it makes me want to just like run back and put the covers over my head and just stay small and stay quiet, right? But that survival mechanism to go hide and to be quiet has served me and has served generations before me of women, has served my ancestors, because there were so many times where unless they did that, there were no other options. They would get beaten or shut up or rejected or left or whatever. So of course some of that still lives inside of me. Of course it does. And I really believe that so much of my generation, the generations after me, are here to tie a nice little bow on those old ancestral wounds and just, this is where it ends. No more. Done being silent, being a good girl, not owning all of myself, not stepping into my power, being a martyr, being a victim. No, that's not what I'm here for. That's not what I'm here for. And I really believe that I'm here at this time where I'm actually allowed to use my voice in order to help end that cycle that my ancestors had to live it under, that they really didn't have much choice to live under. And I get to live at a time, hey Shar, when, I'm not gonna be burned at the stake for being a powerful woman, right? So anyway, all that to say, I love you. If you resonate with this, I feel you, I'm with you, I encourage you. Keep shedding those old labels and those old identities that no longer serve you. Give them a hug and a kiss for the protection that they've given you all this time. But when they no longer serve, it's okay to let them drop. And that moment that they drop, there's going to be that feeling of fuck, I'm exposed. Oh my God, everyone can see me now. I'm exposed. I could get killed, right? And that's the body still trying to protect, right? And what I'm doing is just pushing through anyway and breathing into it and having emotional fits and crying and dancing and welcoming these new powerful parts of myself that are part of my wholeness. This will never end. This keeps happening, right? Unless we refuse to grow. But then if we refuse to grow, we refuse to go with the expansion, then that's when we get lots of nice hits by the universe with the 2x4. Grow, bitch! It's time! Anyway, I love you guys. I did a class today on gentleness, being gentle with yourself, which I really needed, and that will be released very soon. Thank you. Share with me. What are you growing through right now? What are the ego identities that are crumbling around you? I want to know, because I hope I'm not alone. Have a great day.